channels I'm watching, and then the reporter showing the storm track, and then it's like, they're like, it's over Orlando. We're expecting 2 more hours of rain, and then he's drawing the thing, and Tommy's looking. I'm like, Tommy, we're looking at it, and Tommy looks over at it, and he's like, that's a penis. He does the goddamn Night Court meme that we were showing him earlier, and then all I could do was laugh. That's a penis.
I was actually surprised about that. I thought like maybe we won't come out with the greatest food. We'll just get by with like bar food, but we did something completely different, and it's really taken off, and everybody in the area is talking about how great our burgers are.
I saw some listeners go there and talk about how good the food was.
It's bizarre how much the word is spread about our food being so great, because I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting, I saw, Tiffany from the radio there, and that was cool, or their drinks are strong because we know we're pouring a little bit stronger drinks, or we know that we have a great atmosphere because I spent so much time and energy with my family building it that way, but I wasn't expecting this about the food. So although restaurant things, the number one thing you should focus on is the food, maybe I wasn't, and it's surprisingly the best thing about us. Yes, 24 North Brevard. So it's where the old Jenna's Breezeway. Everybody in Brevard County knows Jenna's Breezeway. It was famous for like 5 years, and then it wasn't really doing well for 2 years, and then we bought it, a couple months ago. So everybody knows where it is, but if you don't, it's 24 North Brevard, and it's now called Salty Sisters. It's me, my sister, and my brother-in-law that own it.
Tom and Dan will send you a gift in the mail if you just prove that you went to Salty Sisters. They're a watering hole now.
Yep. I can't wait to.
We got a plaque here. I was supposed to give you that.
You might.
We did have one, but you were using it to do your kratom off of it.
Then there was a GD live mariachi band.
I couldn't believe this. I opened up my phone, and it was just Tom share, or it was Crystal. Crystal had shared it, and I'm just going through, and sure enough, there's a video, and I'm high as hell. It was like, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, what is this AI? It looked like AI. It looked like somebody had placed an AI, like the black suits with the white tuxedo shirts and the hat, the whole nine, the way that they danced, the big giant.
Oh, they had a full mariachi.
And
it was
were playing.
awesome.
Yeah, like why?
Oh, we stood there for their whole set until they were done watching this mariachi band, and these people were partying. I guess
that's a hell of a party out at Croom Forest. They got a mariachi band.
It was Abuela's 80th birthday. I saw the side, and they
They're
brought a mariachi band to the campsite.
Hell yeah, dude!
And,
what 80-year-old grandmas be like? Here's what I want for my birthday.
I
want to be out in a dirt floor.
She was camping in a tent.
I placed that solely on Michael, our trainer. I was going to show him a picture of Maisie, but there's a picture of my butthole next to the picture of Maisie.
That's where you can't have it.
But Michael came over and looked over my shoulder, and I love him to death. He's a good man. But that's on him. Mm-hmm. You need to give people space when they're going to show you a picture.
I never look at somebody's phone.
But if somebody's going to show you a picture, because you have,
and
yes. phone etiquette. Like if somebody goes, oh, let me show you a picture, you step 1 foot back.
You wait till they show you the one picture they want to show you.
You don't
do not swipe.
Yes, you don't get over them while they're going to the photo because there's going to be a butthole.
There's other things in my gallery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do not take it upon yourself to swipe. If you start swiping through, you're
I never, if I have a photo, I never go here and hand my phone and swipe through. I never do that. There's too many buttholes on there.
I swipe, and I'll tell you why. To see a butthole.
Oh my God, I'm just going to enjoy this butthole moment.
When my brother was 10 years old, I was 7.
Yeah.
And we lived, this is when we had just moved to Caracas, which is the capital of Venezuela. Huge, huge, huge city. Just imagine any city in the world, like New York, for example. And we used to
with vines growing up the
building. Yeah.
There's like cheetahs running around.
It's like New York, but with children shooting guns into the clouds.
And we used to take a bus to the subway station. We used to take the subway.
Wait, you had to take a bus to the subway?
A bus to the subway station.
Oh, yeah, your kids are doing that, too.
And then we would take the subway to a transfer station and switch trains, take that up to where it was the nearest to our school, which was probably like 4 or 5 blocks away, and we would come out and walk the rest of the way, and we would do that every single day. Like he would, we just like
That's
the
a
two of
journey.
us, and then after school we would do the same thing on the way back.
You're gonna have to
and
stop
7.
carrying your son to the couch. You gotta get him.
If someone put a gun to my head in front of my kids and they're like, I'm gonna blow your dad's head off, unless you're able to leave your house and take the bus over to the movies.
To the bright line.
To the bright line. Or I mean, just find a bus stop. I'll be dead. I saw one the other day where she pulled it, her like shorts to the side.
I don't think I was that talented. I think I would
Side-splitter.
shit my shorts sideways,
And
dude.
then she just shot a logorrhea out onto the
A
floor.
logorrhea.
Yeah. Where it was like
That's a
somehow
combo log and diarrhea.
I don't practice.
logorrhea.
I ain't got no crystal ball.
Logorrhea.
Never heard that
He
term.
invented it. He
A
just invented it.
spear of soft shit.
Spear.
When it hits the ground, it actually, it doesn't stay.
This is the most poetic you've ever been.
But it's always by like the smaller, like
The frozen food
frozen
section. Yeah,
food
the,
section.
the short
the
freezers.
short one.
Yeah.
And then she shits on the floor and gets up and then continues on, and no one finds the, obviously they found it later and then watched the tape or whatever. But so what? Okay, so let me ask you this: this person obviously was having an emergency and was gonna shit their pants, right? So what? Like they did that and then walked away. Now I guess you should have maybe notified someone.
No. Why? Why would you do that?
Run
'Cause they
away.
don't-
What's the proper thing to do?
Run away.
Okay. But I mean, like if you were trying to do the right thing.
Always do the right thing.
That's it?
That's it.
What's love?
Wait.
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
Andrea does this, and it gives me anxiety. When we're going anywhere, in my brain, I have exactly what I'm going to order loaded like I were the last man standing sniper, ready to fire, last bullet. Chipotle will walk up there, and Andrea will be like,
Yeah. Crystal does the same thing. She starts looking at the menu as
and
if
I'm like, stop!
I'm like, what are you looking at? You know where they don't have that much. It's not like you're trying to figure out what you're in Egypt trying to like what they eat.
I don't know the translation.
What's a King Tut reference again?
Anything fancy he thinks is Egypt.
Sam, for some reason, her disgust of me turned into fantasy.
Lust.
And turned into
Okay,
lust.
so she's so disgusted in you that
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, I gotta have more of that great disgusting.
Yeah, this
Okay,
happens. It's
all
a little,
right.
it gets weird.
Yeah.
I learned this from Saltburn.
I don't think you watched that movie then, because that's not what it was about.
There's a grave involved.
Yeah, that's at the end.
And I see myself doing that.
What?
To Sam's grave, in the Saltburn like this.
Has anybody else seen this movie? Because that's a little disturbing to know he wants to do that to my grave.
I'm
just saying, it's a fantasy.
I have not seen. I have not seen it. This is what I always see in this dystopian future of this like augmented reality is this, you always have this guy, he gets off his job, right, and he's going home, and he's like navigating the streets, and he goes to the subway, cars are going, hey, get out of here! Yeah, you hear the hustle and bustle, and he goes into his apartment building, and it's dirty, and he's stepping over bums as he's like walking in, and then he makes it to the elevator, and he hits the button, and the elevator opens, the door opens up, then he gets in, then he takes that big like accordion door you have to pull to protect yourself from getting killed. You drag that, you put in the button, you go up, you ride for like 3 minutes because you live on the 75th floor, whatever. This dilapidated building, it opens up, It opens up. There's people fighting and like, oh, fuck you. You're stepping out. You walk through and you're like navigating. And you get to your room and you take out your key code and you walk up to your door and you scan it. And the door opens up and you walk in. You make sure it closes, and you walk in, you got a cat and a plant, and it's dirty, there's pizza boxes and beer everywhere, and it's nasty, and you go in, and you sit down in your chair, and it swivels, and it swivels over, and it puts, like, the thing on your face, and then you go into a beautiful Hawaiian paradise.
Yeah.
And that's where you live your life.
I was serving this table at La Celia Steakhouse, and I just kept forgetting this guy's espresso. And I think he asked me probably 5 times in a row.
All right.
And he was like, "Where's my espresso?"
See,
and I was just like,
See, it happens,
don't
and
know.
Brendan's a smart dude.
and I'm a pretty good server. Like I would remember.
I bet you
and
were.
every time I went back to the
Because it
kitchen,
doesn't seem like it.
At that day, I was
the definition
not.
of a bad server.
I don't know I don't know what was wrong with me. I can't even remember. But then and finally I was like, "I'm so sorry. This is it. I'm going back. I'm going to get to your espresso." And then I got way late. I did something else, and I forgot. And I came back out, and he looks me in the face, and he goes, "What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Where's my espresso?" And I was like, "My mom died."
You just said your mom
It
died?
just came right out of my mouth.
You're the
I was
best,
like,
dude.
my mom died,
You're the
and he
fucking
just was
best.
like, "Oh," and he just clammed up, and and I said it in the middle of my section, so all my tables heard me say that,
Oh, they're giving you
Oh.
hugs.
and everyone gave me so much money. I made so much money.
I just want to do one thing right in my life. Every time I
And kiss
hear
makeup.
JoJo Siwa, I think of the guy that sings "I Think You're Crazy" or whatever.
What?
The guy, he's got some thing with his hands.
What are you talking about?
He's like a heavy-set black guy. That CeeLo, there we go.
Oh, CeeLo Green?
You think CeeLo Green is JoJo Siwa?
Well, when you say JoJo Siwa,
That guy.
When I lost my mind.
They talk like that. I remember, he's got big old fat mega choppers. He did the whole season of The Voice with a fucking parrot on his shoulder. You remember that? He did a whole season of the show, The Voice. And
Did
then
it
he'd
ever
go-
talk?
And that's the one where you turn around, and he'd be like this, and he'd hit the button to turn around, and he'd turn around, and he'd be a fucking parrot, and he'd be like, I remember when.
I pick you.
It was fucking awesome, dude.
And apparently fupa is the correct medical term for that area.
I don't think it's correct.
It's not a medical term.
This is what we were just talking about misinformation and how people start. Yeah, that's a medical term. It's absolutely not a medical term.
yeah.
Or I have to
Do you
throw a right
understand
on
what
that,
it
right?
stands for?
Although I
Or
will
is
say,
it? Is it a
I
medical
will
term?
say
I don't
it
need
is-
my words on this.
It
I
is
don't
on WebMD, but
No, why is it on WebMD?
But it's fat upper P word area.
pubic area.
Oh,
So we just changed it to P word.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was your fat upper, the P word area.
Yeah.
But
But I
it's
guess
the pubic area.
But
Yeah.
men have fupas too. So
No.
Hey, don't say that. And he's got a bag, a ginormous mega handle bag from McDonald's, and he has what appears to be 50 yellow wrapper plain cheeseburgers.
Okay, all right.
The most cheeseburgers I've ever seen.
In a suitcase.
And he has, no. So you're foreshadowing. He had a big old bag of burgers, but he has his suitcase open in the back of his SUV. And he's lining, this is not a lie, this is not an exaggeration. He was laying the burgers in his suitcase. And Andrea goes, well, he's foreign and he loves McDonald's. And I go, that's not a thing. It's not a thing.
This could be his lunch.
Hello, good morning. What's up, everybody? Gotta warm my voice up. I have not been talking today. Tom had a cool meeting. Tracy probably told you guys, filled you guys in. I like that. Tracy's already telling the listeners the good news. She's like, I'm fresh from, like, literally 30 seconds afterwards. She's like, here's what we're doing.
Well, the deal's not sealed yet.
Yeah, she's gonna seal it, though. She's gonna seal it.
Hi, Tracy.
Okay, I got you, buddy. You look good. Let me check the secondary camera. You look good. Did you get a different haircut? It looks nice.
No, it's just like recently cut.
Short as hell. I decided for 2 days I never want to cut my hair and my beard again, and then I think this morning, I was like, okay, well, it lasted 2 days.
So the beard is longer than it normally is. Like it's a few weeks.
I think it looks good on you, man.
It gets itchy.
Yeah, you gotta get used to it.
Yeah, and then the next thing
you need a boar's brush, and you smash it into your cup. There we go. There you go. That sounds better. And you brush it like I was doing that with mine this morning, and I'm like, I don't know if I don't think I have the nuts to grow my hair out again. I think that bus has left the terminal. That's done. That's a young man's game.
Yeah, 100%.
Unless you're Ron White.
Well,
and Ron White has amazing hair. I think men that have amazing hair, I have good hair, but not amazing hair. I don't have amazing hair.
You need to stop.
Thick ass.
You need to get to the point in your life where you stop interacting with society.
I'm close.
And then you can grow your hair.
I'm close.
But look at Howard Stern. Like, he still got the full head of black hair.
But he always had it.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
he always had.
But that has died. It would be gray as a witch.
Oh my God, he would look like Fred Armisen on Portlandia.
Yeah,
one of the cat lady book owners.
I didn't realize how many people dyed their hair until I became old and got gray hair, and all my friends are gray. Gray beard.
I didn't realize how many people dyed their hair until I went on your camping trip. Comedy.
and then I was like, wait a minute, we're all in our 40s. I have a gray sideburns.
It looks good on you, though.
But I'm just saying, so then I'm 42, and I'm like,
tell you something you don't want to hear?
These celebrities that are in their 50s with the black hair, like everybody's dying.
I got to tell you something you don't want to hear, but the gray burns seal more business deals. You look more businessy with gray burns.
Nice.
When you didn't have gray burns, you look like you just fucked off. But now that you have the gray burns, when I look at you, you look like Spider-Man's boss, and you look get the fucking work. You look like you're going to help me. You look like you crunch the numbers.
I thought about dyeing them,
too. Do not dye them. I think they're bringing in more revenue. I think those are the revenue burns.
Yeah, then you can't touch them.
Yeah,
During COVID, whenever I first grew this out.
Look at how good his beard looks on that camera.
It came in gray.
But it looks nice.
Fuck that. I am going to.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And so for Mardi Gras, year before last, we went, I had a 70s costume.
Okay.
And I let this grow really, really thick.
Yeah, man.
And then I made these beautiful mutton chops, and I shaved it to where I had, and then I used coloring, and I colored it dark and had a big afro wig on with my mutton chops.
That's what you need, an afro wig. That'll really seal the deal.
But when it was darker, I didn't like it. I was like, I think it looks better gray.
It does. I'm going to tell you guys, this is the end of the warm-up. I like women with gray hair.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I like like
That's called The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I like the Carol. That was my mother's name, so that's a Freudian.
100% except for pubic hair. I'm gonna have to say.
Yeah, wow, way to take it there.
I'm gonna go.
Like this guy's ready for the song I wrote.
I'm married, so I wouldn't know. But if I ever saw the way,
all right, that's a great warm. Craig knows how to do a warm up. Nice. Finally, somebody that knows how to do a goddamn warm up in here. You got to dance around a little bit, and then you got to throw in a joke. Have to throw in a joke. If we don't joke, why the fuck are we here? Right?
That is true.
Let me remember what button is Craig's, because I spent a long time on your song this morning. Okay, perfect. All right. Tom's probably not gonna like it. All right, would you like to start?
Yeah. This is we're coming back. It's gonna be Monday 3.
Monday 3. Yeah. All right. Here we go. In 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Of course, New Year's Eve is coming up.
I always forget about New Year's Eve, but I enjoy it. Like it's one of my. I get so excited. Like when it comes around. Like I actually get like really, really fired up about it because it is a blank canvas. You're starting a new year.
Yeah, it's resetting the clock.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And it's our second fireworks holiday of the year.
It is indeed.
And because of that, we've got Craig from Pyro Spot Fireworks in studio. How you doing, Craig?
Good. How are you?
Good to see
you, man. Of course,
man.
the Pyro Spot tent opens in Longwood on December 21st, and then in Eustis and Sanford on December 26th, day after Christmas. And you can go to iwantfireworks.com. But before we get to that, Daniel wrote Craig a custom song.
I wrote you a song. I think you're going to like this. It's for fireworks. We need.
Okay.
You've always needed a song for your fireworks. So here we go. Let's get into it. It is fireworks season.
Let's blow off all our fingers, scare the shit out of all the pets. Let's burn up all the screen rooms, cause ain't nothing get them wet. Like fireworks, like those fuses, they've got so many uses, I ain't even got on shoeses. Fireworks, shoot them at your neighbors, destroy their damn tomatoes, don't be a hater. Buy fireworks.
We got a little mandolin solo.
Did Tom write the lyric?
We're bringing it back around. Here we go.
Let's blow off all our fingers, scare the shit out of all the pets. Let's burn up all the screen rooms, cause ain't nothing get them wet. Like fireworks, like those fuses, they've got so many uses, I ain't even got on shoes. Fireworks, shoot them at your neighbors, destroy their damn tomatoes, don't be a hater. Buy fireworks, you pussy ass pussy.
Nice. That's the finish. That's the finish. If I ever make a TV commercial, that's going to be my background.
Yeah. Well, you can't even air that.
Yes, you can absolutely air that.
At the end?
Yeah, you're allowed to call people that. Yeah. Ask Jack. I hear Jack use it all the time.
What?
I listen to the Jim Colbert show all the time, and Jack, he throws his
P
language.
word?
Yes.
How you doing,
Jack's
Craig?
got balls. Jack's got balls.
I'm better now. That's wait till I tell my wife I got my own song. She's going to be so excited.
Yeah, we had to welcome in, the secondary. So, what is your? I don't think we've ever asked you that.
This
What's
year,
your favorite?
This would be the third firework season.
That's true because you did Diwali.
Oh, no, aside from Diwali, there was an election. I don't know if you heard.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
And,
that actually,
the Trumpers were lined up at my door.
Really?
So we're to set up fireworks?
Oh yeah, the night of the election, literally, like. The 2 weeks before, I had people calling me going, hey, I need to come pick up some stuff. And I was like, oh, are you guys got a party or something? No, I'm a set it off night of the election. Like, not even kidding it, 40 people.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, it was insane.
That's a full 10.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, get that fight special.
So New Year's Eve, are we having basically you have everything you had for 4th of July, correct?
Yeah, pretty
in the
much.
tent.
So.
Any of the Gatling guns left?
I think I have 8.
Okay, only 8?
Only 8 left.
Well, that's kind of the reason for the ending of the song.
Okay.
Kind of calling you out a little bit.
We ordered more for next year.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you and I, we big talked and said we were going to get our son, get your sons, get my daughter a Gatling gun. We said we were going to shoot him in the Baldwin parking lot, and then we did nothing.
I know, yeah.
I saw lister buddies of ours that got them, and it looks like a damn fun time.
I fired one, and it is a damn fun time.
Yeah, it looks like a damn fun time. Like it looks. Does it have a decent amount of like? Does it have that nice like? Foom, foom, foom,
It's got a little like it definitely has the noise coming out of it,
Yeah.
and it's got a little bit of vibration from it coming
you want
out.
a little
It's
kick.
not intense.
Right.
Yeah, just enough.
Somebody's got to be brave enough, and I think it's Seth, to let their baby do it. Maybe the wizard.
Oh yeah.
With the wizard's baby, because
Oh,
dude,
100%.
you're talking about a viral video.
He'll do anything.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about a viral video. A baby in a diaper.
Tennessee.
Holding a Gatling gun, right?
Yeah. He'll
And then
do it.
we'll have him light something that'll be like we'll have him light like a Christmas display or something.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
I'm fleshing this out of my brain.
This is a good
This
viral
is a
video.
Good viral video.
Yeah.
So it's a baby. How old is he? Because it's got for effect, but he looks so small.
Yeah. Well, at first his name, the fact his name's Tennessee, he's from Florida.
By the way, if you're from Florida and your name is Tennessee, you instantly at birth get 10 tough points, right?
Yeah.
You get 10 tough points.
And we could put a diaper on him, even though he doesn't wear
Yeah, it's
diapers.
fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. He'll do anything.
We'll make him look younger.
Yeah.
The
That's
wizard
what
can let him grow out his
that's
hair.
That's the old Puerto Rican baseball trick.
Yeah.
Make him look younger.
And he will hold it, and he'll do anything.
Yeah.
That baby will. I mean, I could send him to Publix.
You know, okay.
He'll drive my truck.
We got okay. What people like now, because like people's morality seems to be flipped upside down. You know, good is bad, bad is good. Everybody, the world's going crazy. The baby is shooting the Gatling gun in a diaper at an unoccupied cop car. And that's the video. And this is not anti-cop. Don't even at me. This is nothing bad. This is literally
this is Florida fun.
This is Florida fun. It is a baby shooting a Gatling gun firework at on an unoccupied cop car.
You'd have 67 million views.
Yeah,
in
maybe
like
more.
48 hours.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Maybe
We can put an
more.
American flag on there.
Andrew goes, did you forget he has a baby younger than the...
Yeah, but the little tiny baby, he can't follow directions.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know that
he'll
he
put
gets-
his face in it.
Yeah. He just smashes all my stuff with it. I'm like, God damn it. So we need Tennessee. He's old enough to be like, do this. The wizard took him over to my house about 2 months ago. And when they walked in, Tennessee's like, I'm going to throw up. And Wizard's like, go outside.
He makes his kids throw out. Wow, he makes them tough. That's tougher than he makes them barf outside. Jesus Christ. That guy's a monster.
Well, he's holding it on there. He's stressed out. He's got 4 kids.
You didn't tell me that part.
And then
that's Ross does that to you.
And then we looked at the Ring doorbell, and he walked outside. He opened my pumpkin. And then he started gagging, dry heaving in it.
He thought it was a toilet. Poor thing. Poor thing. Daddy doesn't
No,
let
he's
me.
tough as hell. He doesn't care.
Oh, my God. That's a great story.
Anyway.
So like a week after 4th of July, I had a guy call me up and he's like, hey, do you have a refill for the Gatling? I was like, yeah, I have some more left. And he's like, yeah, I want to mount it to my drone. And I was like, now, while I think that would be amazing, I should let you know it is also illegal.
To mount that on your drone?
Oh, yeah, you can't have like a drone with fireworks on it. There's videos of them out there, but it's straight up illegal.
What about a Puerto Rican crotch rocket? Because I've seen that.
It's a Florida or federal?
You know,
I didn't even know the state law.
You've seen the Puerto Rican crotch rocket video, the guy wheeling and he's got the Gatling gun in the front of his
It's
motorcycle.
my favorite video.
He's like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great video.
And I've seen drones with, Roman candles on them. That's right. It's similar to that. But they made that illegal?
No, you should be allowed to do that in your backyard. If I want to shoot drones and Roman candles, come get
100%.
Come get me.
Well, I'm sure it's not for your own, like, if you had a huge property, like, then no one cares what you do, but it's like they don't want that
Not
flying around.
I couldn't do it around here.
Some, Baldwin.
You know that there's been reports of that. I was actually listening to, we mentioned him earlier, Jim Colbert's show, and there's like been cities across America that have been reporting massive drones.
New Jersey just had a big instance of it.
Yeah, it's New Jersey, and everyone that comes to our show knows more about the world than you and I do, which is great. Which is why we invite people in.
I know nothing about the world.
Yeah, teach us about the world. But yeah, and there's like hundreds of them, right? Like, and people see them, and they're like, "What the hell is this?" And nobody knows what they are.
Like mystery drones?
Yeah, mystery drone.
Well, I mean, drones are so readily available.
The government's not saying anything. And then they called an emergency meeting.
Read this morning the FAA was investigating because one possibly blocked a medical chopper.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, that was one of the headlines I read this morning. So,
I bet it was a United Healthcare.
So I know that the government does use drones, and like even local police use them for like traffic enforcement.
They fly them over and they fly them over to see your wife in the backyard. That's what they do.
And then you could also buy even big, nice, like seemingly professional drones for fairly cheap. If just a regular consumer, you can get a nice ass drone for like $5,000, right? Like a big one.
They never tried to implement that into like that technology into any of the fireworks as drones rolled out when you were like selling fireworks. Like they've never tried to like hybrid something up that could sort of be used.
No, it's the whole thing with a Gatling gun where they had to ship it separately because you can't have anything electronic with fireworks. So like the part where it spins and everything else couldn't be officially part of the fireworks.
Gotcha.
You know what's weird? I was at Publix the other day and I saw someone buying. They do this at Walmart and Publix. They always have a little crate of fireworks.
It's another sad dad installation. It's another sad divorced dad installation.
It's weird that they even continue to do it.
Because it sells.
It must sell, but I saw someone buy.
Dads freak out. Dads freak out about like, I didn't. It's because of dads.
Yeah, but what's weird is like I feel I wanted to stop them and say like, listen, I understand this. Maybe you may live in an apartment complex. You just want to have a little fun with your kids, sell off some fountains, and you're like, I don't want to.
I hate it when people do that though.
Well, okay.
That'd be like Bert Kreischer walking up to me when I'm buying Tito's, and you're like, here, try Porosos. And he does that to me. And if you did that to me, I would say, mind your business, no matter who you are.
Well, I wanted to give a recommendation to the fact that you're buying sub-quality products for more expensive than Pyro Spot. You can you don't have to buy mortars and Gatling guns. You can get, there's a whole.
You really should.
Aisle full of small stuff, like, and then it's better quality, and and the fountains are better.
Well, Kupo
and
says
better.
It's flowers. Like if you compare fireworks to flowers at Publix, like the markup.
Oh yeah,
I mean it is
all,
for forgetful
all of those
fathers.
fireworks are by a company called T&T, which is an independently owned company by this family in North Carolina, I believe it is, who is now richer than God, and they made the deals with. Basically, they got their packages approved for sales in stores. They were the first one to it. So now they're carried everywhere. And the markup on them is like 100%. So for the retailer, not only for T&T, but for the retailer itself. So, yeah. And T&T will take back anything they don't sell. So it's zero risk. It's like they deliver this nice stand with all the fireworks on it. The retailer sells it, makes a fortune off of junk, and then anything they don't sell, T&T just comes pick up and give them credit for it. So
yeah, and I'm not even of course it's money while the stores are. I'm saying the consumer, like, go to Pyro Spot because you can get the small stuff. It's better quality, and then you can put together your own little package, and it'll be cheaper. So it's literally they're worse quality, more expensive.
Well, I think it's
worse
misinformation.
product.
Like, I don't think people, like most of the people that I talk to, like, let's be honest, our show is very fireworks centric. We've been, you've been a client working with us and a friend for like 20 years now. So you and I have always sort of known what it is, right? And we have people that listen to our show that probably are like, they're like the Public Plus. Right? Like a little more knowledgeable. Yeah. Because Craig's on here like, a couple times a year. But I think most people may not even know you can get really nice, good, commercial grade fireworks.
I think they don't know there's a difference. They think that what they've seen from those little packets is the same thing they would find at any tent. And by and large, they're right. I mean, I'm one of the few places that actually carries a little bit higher end stuff. It's a lot better. So, and I don't hate on anybody who buys the little packages. The only thing that I don't like about those are the really large packages that look like it's got mortars and aerials and everything else, but they don't. It's all ground-based fountains. So I have a dozen people a year who come in who bought a giant package from either the grocery store, Costco, or Sam's, or one of those, and they thought they were going to get a whole fireworks show, and they get home and start lighting stuff, and it's all just fountains, and they're unhappy.
Yeah. And
well, my
because
father was one of those guys, but he got in early, right? So he did the reverse engineer. He used to drive to the Carolinas to get his fireworks and then come back. And then they must have gotten it approved to sell the T&T style fireworks in all the grocery stores. So up the road in Brandywine, into land where I lived, where you've been, there was a Winn-Dixie. He drove up there. He bought the big pack thinking that he was getting good stuff. And they were all fountains. And I can't even say the words. It was just nothing but the F word, nothing but mad. This isn't like the stuff we used to get.
My favorite is like 3 years ago, I had a lady come in who had bought the biggest pack that they had at one of the wholesale stores. And she was just livid because it was all fountains and she thought it was big stuff. But the best part was she was pissed at me like I'm the guy who sold it to her.
Yeah.
Like it was my stuff. And I was like, what do you want me to do? And she's like, I need a refund on this. I was like, then you got to go back to where you bought it. I sell fireworks. I don't own all fireworks. Like,
no, that's funny. You're like, I bought a firework and this guy sells it. So he's responsible.
I'll just swing through.
Yeah.
I like that.
So it's funny because if you grew up old Florida, and you're our age, you remember the trip to Georgia or across the Florida line to get
south
anything
of the border,
and the signs and stuff like that. It's so ridiculous.
I
we had
remember
to
my
drive
dad signing waivers. I remember my dad talk. Man, sounds really strange. I remember my dad talking to me about how the fireworks were illegal, and the amount of misinformation. I think my dad even thought if we got popped, like coming back in,
the cops were
we're all going to jail. I was terrified when I'd go on these runs.
So
probably gave me my anxiety.
I'm from Louisiana, right? And I remember as a kid when for safety, they outlawed bottle rockets, like the tiny penny rockets.
Those are the best ones, man.
So all of the fireworks stands started carrying what they call these Texas bottle rockets, which literally are like 20 times stronger and much larger and 1,000 times more dangerous than the little penny bottle rockets.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing they outlawed was the tiny penny bottle rockets. I'm like, come on. In Louisiana, at 14, I can go into the hunting store and buy a pound of black powder, like literally
a bag of it,
and cannon fuse, like they sold it next to each other.
I'm like, blow up an entire building.
But I can't buy the bottle rocket.
You guys really hit something with the chat room. Everybody's talking about where they used to go to get their people would drive from we go from PA to Ohio to get a truckload from Phantom.
Yeah, you drive
south of the border. We go to Hilton Head for summer vacation.
What was even the rationale behind why fireworks used to be illegal here in Florida?
Yeah, do you know the history of what we had?
What did they even claim that it was a nuisance?
I mean, it's still illegal in like 13 states. So I think 7 of those you can't have anything, but
some of it is like
let me guess, California.
Well, because some of it is like because of wildfires,
right. Super dry.
If you're in a place where the desert climate with lots of fuel for fires,
I support that.
I can understand.
I support that.
But if you're in a swamp, then what the hell did they?
Oh yeah.
Why were
they're all illegal in New York? So
what's the reason? Is it because of just like they don't want the nuisance for society, or is it just political money thing?
It's all political money.
Yeah.
So,
nice. I knew it. Nice. I shouldn't even ask because that's all it comes down to.
Oh my God! You just unlocked a memory that has nothing to do with anything. Did we get a crazy Kevin Spacey Thanksgiving video this year?
I don't know. I don't think he puts out much social media anymore. Right?
That's a travesty. Every year he puts out a holiday video of how crazy he is. I'm going to do some research on the break.
Nice. Did you see who our new ambassador to Colombia is?
No.
Anybody catch the news today?
Steve-O from Jackass.
No, Dan Newland.
Yes.
He's always wanted that because he has a place in Colombia. And remember the video of him before the Pitbull concert? He would ride up on a horse and be like, come see Pitbull, yeah, and then he'd like ride out.
Now, I don't
That's
know
badass.
anything about politics, but I thought, shouldn't you be Colombian? Like usually the ambassador
lives there,
of like
Tom.
Iraq or
He has a
wherever.
mansion in Colombia.
Oh, well, see,
usually
if he lives there, I feel a little better about it.
like the Indian ambassador is probably Indian, right?
I like that our Colombian ambassador at one point. I love that our Colombian ambassador at one point was wearing a leopard print rash guard and poured champagne into his eyeball.
Oh, look.
Do you remember that video?
Well, the point is, shouldn't you know Spanish?
I think he does. I keep telling you he lives there. You're not listening to anything I said. He has a freaking house there, dude. He spends half his time there. I don't even think he lives in Florida anymore.
Yeah, I know he lives there. He doesn't know Spanish. That's all I'm saying.
He might know Spanish.
He knows hola as much Spanish as I do, or maybe a tiny bit more.
I would be willing to bet that somebody that goes there as much as he does might know some Spanish.
If you're that rich, you don't need to know the language of where you're going.
Yeah.
And no one bothers to, like, he owns mansions and a place and a lot of property and pays the government off so they don't F with them.
I think most.
Yeah, but a lot of our ambassadors aren't from the, like your Ukrainian ambassador isn't going to be from the Ukraine.
Well, I thought he would be some sort of Ukrainian.
No,
just
I
random.
I think it's like political posts and it to look good.
Yeah. Should he know about, like, I know you have a house there, but do you
they
know
brief
about...
you on it.
Yeah.
I don't think you read any of this stuff, but I don't think any ambassador we have has any relation to the country they're going to.
No, really? I thought they...
No.
No.
You know how hard it would be to find, like, we got to find a guy from Luxembourg. Okay, put him in there. I don't think they have...
Well, I mean, every single country has some expat that's American that's probably, somewhat.
No, I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? So it'd be like,
but I don't think they do that.
Yeah. I thought that's how
way
they
too
did
much
it.
thought to put into it.
Yeah.
So
it's like a lineage prestige thing.
So those big snap pops.
They're so good.
The loud ones.
Yes.
What are those called?
They're called adult snaps.
Okay, adult snaps. Those are my son's new favorite.
They're fantastic.
Firework, because they've graduated from the tinier ones, and then these actually still they startle you. Because they're loud.
They go.
You're like, wow.
They're very loud.
But still safe for kids to play around. And my determination.
I don't even know what that is. What is that? What is the snap and pop? What does that even do?
So it's just got rocks in it that basically create a spark, and it's got a sprinkle of flash powder in it.
And that's it.
That's it.
Put it under a little bit of pressure, and that's...
Yeah, so whenever you throw them down, the rocks rub against each other. They create a tiny little spark, and that sets off the little flash that gives a little pop. Now, the adult ones just have more of the flash powder that's in it. Although, still, I don't know if I'd let small children use the adult
Tennessee
snaps,
could do it.
but,
He'd be fine. He's already shot the Gatling gun as a cop car. He's fine. Yeah.
I've literally let him do it.
That is true.
And that was
that's not a shot.
7 months ago.
Barefoot in a diaper. Yeah.
So, again, the Longwood location opens up on December 21st.
Yep.
I'd go there early, especially if you want a Gatling gun or any of the really good
crazy
sought-after
stuff.
If you want,
What's going to be your quickest and craziest sellers? Gatling gun, obviously. What else?
God, the 200-gram cakes are usually a really good seller, but for New Year's Eve, particularly because it's during a week, this year it's on Tuesday night, I think we're going to do a lot of the big 500-gram cakes because people they don't want to do quite as long of a show. So they're going to come in and pick up,
It's like me in the bedroom. Go very intense, short amount of time.
That's all you need.
3 megapumps.
You just need, a display to bring in the new year. And
you know what? I'm going to give you another compliment.
I'm doing it. You want to come this year? I'm doing it in my cul-de-sac.
He does a really good job.
Oh, I've heard.
But I have a request. And I don't want anyone to bully you out of this. You have to use the one wheel to run the trash cans and everything around because it speeds it up and makes it better. It makes it better. He brings the trash can out in the one wheel. Nice. He's got tiny shorts on. Yeah, it's fun.
I missed my cul-de-sac display for 4th of July this year because I went down to Miami and did it down in Miami.
It's fun, man.
My neighbors were set up with lawn chairs waiting, and I felt funny.
That hurts my heart.
I got a picture from a mother-in-law. My neighbor's like sitting out in some camping chairs.
Did
like,
they say
waiting
anything
for
or
it.
let him sit all night?
No, I'm sure they were. They're like, oh, he's not. Oh God.
man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make it up to him for New Year's Eve.
Absolutely. He does a good job, and everything purchased from Pyro Spot. And by purchased, I mean Tom got it free.
So before we end, let's talk some gambling, Craig.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay. What are you playing nowadays?
Well,
Is it still craps?
I literally just got back from New Orleans. We were in New Orleans this past weekend. The Harrah's there has been renamed Caesars, and they've redone the hotel and everything else. So I did a little craps there. A little bit of poker in the poker room, but
hey, liquor in the back.
But
Sorry, Big Johnson.
And I'll also enjoy talking to you about, it's working the system with the casinos and the amount of perks they give you. And Craig has talked about, like,
I wish I would do that.
And it's not that entirely hard to do. And they're not really eagle-eyeing it because it's kind of more of a general, like, hey, this guy's a big spender. It's really just portraying your big spender.
I've always wanted to be called a big spender.
Yeah.
And there's a song about it, for Christ's sake.
They'll give you lots of comps, right?
Oh, yeah. Look, if you want to guarantee, like a free cruise, if you want to guarantee a free cruise, call the cruise line before, the casino on the cruise line, and say, hey, I don't want to carry cash. Let me wire you $20K before the cruise. And they'll be like, can we get you anything while you're on the boat?
Okay, all right.
Oh, hold on a second. This is great.
And then so you're able to wire the casino $20K, and you don't even have to really spend. They're not really eagle-eyeing whether you gamble it away or not.
If you want additional free cruises and stuff, then go buy into a game for several $1,000s. You don't have to spend it all, but buy into a game for $3,000 or $4,000. They're going to write your name down. Like we actually just got back for Halloween. We did the Virgin Voyages cruise.
Okay.
Which I will 100% do again. It was amazing.
Yeah, I've heard great things about the boats, man.
We cruise free on pretty much every cruise line now, and this was my first Virgin voyage. So I had told the wife beforehand, I was like, I have to spend enough time in the casino to where we never pay for another one of these cruises again.
I love that. You give her a job obligation
And
that you have to do, and then she doesn't hassle you about being in there too long either.
Like we really, I played in the afternoon one day for like 2 or 3 hours, but then in the evening I would go after dinner and play for like 4 hours.
Right.
So
gotcha.
It's funny. I saw in our Tom and Dan cruise them giving 2 free cruises on MSC to high rollers. That one. I don't know if Pudge got the someone, but
man, Pudge was crushing it. I forgot about that.
It may have been Eric from Shingle Masters.
I think he did get something.
Yeah. He filled, and they were like, "Here's a free cruise, sir," because they just want you back gambling.
Yeah. So for the MSC cruise, the first night there, they came to me after a few hours, and they're like, "Hey, congratulations, you won a 20% off your next cruise. Let me get your information." And I gave it to them. So then the next night, they came to me and they're like, "Hey, if you ever want to cruise again, you can get a free cruise through MSC," which we had cruised before, and we were upgraded to the yacht club on MSC through the casino on this cruise. So I was like, "Oh,
I heard that
thanks."
was pretty darn good, too.
Oh, it did not suck.
Yeah, I heard that was good. Tracy got a free cruise on our cruise.
Yeah. And then the third night, they came up to me and he just handed me a card and he said, "If you ever want a cruise, just call this number."
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
And so then that's how it works with all the cruise lines. You just call them up and you're like, "I want to go on this cruise," and they just give it to you?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's awesome.
Because they know you're gonna spend some money.
Yeah.
They're hoping you drop a fortune, and I'm fortunate enough to where I don't always win, but I don't lose massive sums, but I will buy in for a lot of money. So same thing.
Again, it's portraying wealth and throwing around money like you don't care.
Portray filth. I don't know what I portray.
Yeah. And there's ways you can gamble where you're not losing so much if you know how to do it. Like obviously
that requires effort and knowledge.
You start putting $100 in every number in roulette, like that's a bad way. You'll lose fast. But you start just playing red or black, you're gonna lose, but a little bit over time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you played for a couple hours. And then there's this we want this guy.
Do you have systems and things that you use?
So there's like.
Are you casual about it, or are you pretty serious about your gambling?
So for craps, it really depends on the table. So there's a lot of different ways to play depending on if the table is hot or cold, or like if there's a lot of what they call hard waves, where it's like a 4 is a 2 and a 2, or a 6 is a 3 and 3. So if those are like hitting a lot at the table, then I'll bet on the most money I have made in the quickest amount of time. We were in Atlantic City, and the table had been hot, and I was way ahead, and everything was great. And this guy kept rolling the hard ways. It was amazing how often he was rolling it. And I think I had $10 on the hard 6, which pays 9 to 1. And another guy had $25. So the guy rolls 3 and 3 hard 6. So I said, just press it and go to 100, parlay it. And then the other guy who was at a quarter went to like 250. The very next roll is another hard 6. So that paid 900. And I was like, go to 300. And then the other guy went to like $1,000. It was supposed to be 500 limit, but they let him go to 1,000 at the casino.
9 to 1.
Yeah, 9 to 1. So a few more rolls, the guy rolls another hard 6. So he makes $9,000 on it. I made $2,700 on it, and I was still being a wuss because, like, the odds of this happening is ridiculous. I was like, let me go to 5. And then, sure enough, a few rolls later, he hits it again. And I was like, go to 1,000. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he hit one more time.
Oh, my God.
At $1,000. Yeah. So literally in like 15 minutes, and I was making money on the table, but just on the hard 6, I made like $4,000. I was like, God, what just happened here?
That just gave me a hard 3. That's a great story.
Now, Craig, we are doing a disservice to the society here because we are portraying that you can win and you can get free vacations and cruises. You just have to go to the casino. Everything's free.
You just have to pretend to be the sheik.
Your grandest dreams are.
I'm a degenerate. Come on now.
Would you share too much information? Because, like, not that he's not doing anything at all bad, but would you go to the table and be like, just so you guys know, I will not be spending all of this money? Like, would you? Because, like, you have a tendency to leak information sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'd be afraid. Here's what I would do.
They're checking your balance.
I'd wire $20,000.
I think you'd be scared.
And then to get the free cruise, but then I'll be thinking
spend $18,000 of it
the whole time. I'd have to pretend to gamble, and then like I'd be thinking they're tracking me.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That guy better spend this money, or he scammed us.
We're throwing him off the boat.
And then I'll be like, I'm just gonna gamble a little bit, and then I'm like, I gotta win it back, and then I spend it all.
And then you jump off the boat.
And then I spend $20,000 on a $1,300 cruise, and then I scream, Craig told me I would win.
So I had a good friend of mine who was taking his family to Alaska, and he wanted to go. I think he was on Norwegian, but he hadn't cruised in forever, so he really had no gambling history. But we both have an agent who works with gambling companies who can get your trips and stuff. So
all right.
I gave him the agent name. He called
You're
him up.
such a good gambler. You have an agent.
Yeah,
that's badass.
So
bad gambler.
I think degenerate is the word you're looking for.
Really good gamblers get kicked out of the casino.
He's like, I would need 3 rooms on this Alaskan cruise. And he's like, well, we really don't have a history. The cruise line is worried. How do they know you're going to gamble? And he's like, I'll wire them $30K before I get on the boat. And he's like, we can get you 3 rooms.
That's how you.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. You just need to have an extra $30K.
Yeah, that's it. Like
that's the problem for me. Yeah, that's the problem.
I can't move $30K without paperwork being
I'd
signed.
have to close an account if I move $30K.
I have to have a 3-day-long conversation with my wife.
3 days.
Where I was explaining her the whole scenario over and over. I'm showing her the internet videos. I'm like, I'm telling you, people do this.
Yeah. Please, put it in ChatGPT if you don't believe it.
Craig, thanks so much for coming by.
I love you, buddy. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Diwali, everything that you said, New Year's, everything. Every holiday is a fireworks holiday.
And remember, iwantfireworks.com is the website. We got Longwood location, Eustis location, Sanford location.
Indeed. Hit them all up and get there early if you want the best stuff.
And we will be right back.
Perfect. Good job, man. We're still on everything.
Nice.
Awesome job, my man. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, that's Jeremiah, by the way, who was doing the Alaska cruise.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. What is that, T?
That's Monday 3.
Monday 3. Thank you.
So it's going to be on Monday?
Yes, Monday.
Cool.
And we don't have anything for that, right?
No, that's the first time.
Perfect.
I figured I wanted to air it the week 12. Hopefully, weather will be a big part, even though it's on
really cold. We don't sell it. Let's go. When it's really cold,
Yeah,
that's around for a long time.
But if it's nice outside.
Yeah, 60s and 70s would be great. So. How's everything else going?
Good. Just
12, 16,
working on stuff for 2025,
24.
new partnerships, and just grinding it out, figuring out where we want to be.
All right, y'all. Tentfrontations, yes. Let's see what you guys have been saying in here. Is Ross working the tent this year? Yeah, typically he does. Yeah, I think he just enjoys doing it. I love you too, Jackal. Do you guys want to preview the new Tuttle song? I like playing new stuff for you guys. The Craig song came out pretty good. The first one I did is Cadillac Pat. Here, I'll give you a little taste. Yeah, here's a Tuttle intro song. Here, check this out.
His parents are dead and he lives all alone. And I think his day job involves the cellular phone. All he ever wanted was a slam hog to bone. It's Tuttle, just Tuttle. He inflated a balloon up inside of his anus of the radio stunt boys. This man is the greatest. He's gonna snap one day. We're just glad he don't hate us. It's Tuttle, just Tuttle. Tuttle, 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 king of the stunts. Why do you let the love sponge play with your butt? Tuttle, 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 fight, fight, fight. We all liked you better when your anus was tight.
Yeah, I wrote this.
His parents are dead and he lives all alone. And I think his day job involves the cellular phone. All he ever wanted was a slam hog to bone. It's Tuttle, just Tuttle, just Tuttle. He inflated a balloon up inside of his anus of the radio stunt boys. This man is the greatest. He's gonna snap one day. We're just glad he don't hate us. It's Tuttle, just Tuttle. Tuttle, 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 king of the stunts. Why do you let the love sponge play with your butt?
Yeah, it does sound like Tom Jones, Eric. Good call. It does sound like a little bit. Yeah, it's interesting how that one came out. But I'm getting pretty good at writing I'm getting pretty good at knowing what cadences it wants. Here's the Cadillac Pat one.
Where you at? Where you at? It's Cadillac Pat.
I went 90s.
Where you at? Where you at? It's Cadillac Pat. He dresses like the 90s, though he's 50 years old. Tracksuit and vintage Nikes in a color so bold. He'll give up, his relationship can't ever be told. Cause with Cadillac Pat, the Lord be breaking the mold. Where you at? Where you at? It's Cadillac Pat.
They don't have a singles night. Some boats have single person night. Solo cruisers. I'm like, yo, we're going to this. 5 Indian guys talking. Yeah.
He dresses like the 90s, though he's 50 years old. Tracksuit and vintage Nikes in a color so bold. He'll give up, his relationship can't ever be told. Cause with Cadillac Pat, the Lord be breaking the mold. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
Yeah, that was not bad. And then like now what I'm trying to do to make them cool is like I'll throw in like the gunshot for Tuttle. Like I'll do that. Yeah, don't leave your glasses either. Oh, they're there. Oh my God, I didn't even know you left them.
Look at there.
But you typically do.
Yes, I'm terrible.
So do I. I leave my glasses at every restaurant I wear them to.
Which is why I buy them by the 5-pack on Amazon.
No, I just drive back, and then Andrea yells at me. Well, Jackal, not really. I mean, I can write a poem. I mean, that's about all I'm doing at that part is just poem writing. But I'm learning how to manipulate it a little bit better. The key is to not let it write the song. If you let it write the song, it gets all fucked up. Are we recording a little piece for that?
Well, we can add a little.
Yeah, you gonna put a little thing on the end of it?
A little 9 minutes. Just do a couple voicemail. And
Yeah.
Then
Perfect.
That way, that's done.
Perfect. Keep that. All right. Let me get the voicemails. I can't believe the Dan Newland thing. That's ridiculous. It makes sense, but it's ridiculous. All right. Would you like to bring us back?
Yeah.
Here we go. And 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some voicemail.
I love voicemails. And also, I'm just going to give out some shout-outs to all of our regular voicemail callers that call in all the time since we're kind of nearing the end of the year. Very special shout-out goes to our very good friend, the historian who calls all the time. I like your voicemails, buddy, and I'm glad you listened to our show. Thanks for being a part of it. All right. Now, this was from last week, and let's see here. Let's go with this one right here. Do you remember when we were, I think we were interviewing Jenna Hurt, and she was talking about how sometimes when she's in foreign countries, it is very difficult for her to navigate the language, even if she's saying things correctly.
Okay.
Hey, gang. I was just listening to the BDM show when you guys were talking to Jenna Hurt, and she was telling her story about Japan and how they couldn't understand her. I was stationed in Korea for 3 years. I can't speak for the Japanese language, but I know in Korean, I think there's like 21 vowels. So, like, the slightest little change in the way we would say something could mean a completely different word. We went down to vacation once down to a city called Busan, and there's a beach out there called Hyundai Beach. So we get in a cab to go to our hotel. We tell the cab, Hyundai Beach. And same thing. He had no idea what we were saying, couldn't understand it. We said it like 5 times until my buddy finally says, Hyundai Beach it is. And he goes, Hyundai Beach. And then so he finally understood. And I kind of realized that, you know, you feel like you're sort of poking fun and putting on an accent, making fun of their language. But if you don't do that, they don't understand what you're saying. Yeah, that's just a piece of advice. If you ever travel to Asia, don't be afraid to put on a little bit of an accent.
There you go.
So
it's interesting because
I get what he's saying. You just I don't think you want to you don't want to make any facial expressions when you do it.
Yeah.
And then you're fine.
You shouldn't pull the corners of your eyes.
Or buck your teeth out, or don't do something stupid.
But what's interesting,
but I think it's fine to do that. Yeah,
is that we look at the language, or like, all right, if you have the table, the word table. Okay, so
what the hell was happening for a second?
I'm trying to explain what I'm thinking.
Table.
So if we hear anybody that doesn't speak English get close to table, we'll understand.
Right.
No matter what.
Right.
Because that's how our language works. With
that's why they call it mechanics, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so we just assume that's how all language works.
That's not true.
Because we're like, well, if ours work like that, then theirs work.
That's a typical American arrogance, right?
Yes.
And 21 vowels? Holy smokes.
Well, you know what's weird?
We got 5, dog.
And I make this reference all the time, but
I didn't mean to call you dog.
With the Laurel and Yanny thing and the seeing 2 different colors and stuff, that's when I really understood, 2 people can hear different things. And the exact same audio file is playing, and then people are hearing 2 different things and swearing by it. They're like, I hear Laurel, and you're crazy for hearing Yanny. That's insane. Yeah. And the other people are like, what are you talking about? It's clearly saying Yanny. And then I'm like, oh,
people will perceive and hear things differently to the point where it's two different words, and it's like that's happening. That's creating tons of confusion.
Don't they say that the way that we look at color, like between humans, or the way that we perceive ourselves, there's variety there.
Well, they said that pink Nike or the turquoise
or
Nike,
the dress,
or the dress thing, or the gold and blue dress.
But I mean, like even my own perception of how I look, is like different.
Oh, it's skewed.
It's skewed. Yeah, it's like
100%.
Your brain it fills in. It smooths everything over, like it bondos over it.
People that knew someone their whole life will see them younger than other people that see a stranger.
That's a good thing for me.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad you've known me for a decent amount of time because I'm looking old.
One time I got. And you do it to yourself in the mirror as well. One time I got so high by accident. I accidentally sometimes
start kissing the mirror. You're kissing yourself on the mirror.
Sometimes I took I'll take a THC 10 milligram
and
whatever.
Forgot you took it.
And then immediately 10 minutes later I'll go back to my weed drawer.
Yeah, I have a weed drawer.
And then I'll take another 10.
That's fine.
And then while
that's called the accidental double up.
While I'm swallowing it, I was like, wait a minute, did I do this already?
You try to spit it out?
No, because I'm not sure.
Have you ever done the triple, the accidental triple?
No, never done the triple.
I don't think I have either.
Because usually I'm like, wait a minute, I may have taken 2, and then I'll get so high, I'll start freaking out. And then
that's
time,
the best part. That's the part I like. Is that where I'm like, oh man, it's coming for me.
I swear, I looked at myself in the mirror and I saw the true version of myself.
Oh, you
like
it,
the
did you?
No,
my guy's like it was a Harry Potter shadow monster.
All of a sudden, I looked way older, and I was like, oh my god, I'm an old man.
Oh, okay.
Because
you saw your true self.
Because the weed had taken away all that filter of me using my old reflection above my new one and smoothing it out.
Your mask came off.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh my god, I'm an old man. And then I freaked out, and then my heart started beating. And then my family's eating dinner. They have no idea that I'm having a freak out. And that's it. So then I saw what I really look like, and I'm old as hell.
Oh, no, you're not. You look good. Let's try. All right. I mentioned the historian. Let's cue up one of his. This is a good one. This is for you, Tom.
Hey, Tom and Dan. I downloaded TikTok like 3 weeks ago, I believe. And it is extremely addictive. I find myself...
way to strike while the iron's hot.
Craving to use it and stuff. But the rhetoric I hear around TikTok, you guys have talked about it, you guys talk a lot about the algorithm, is that, like, the belief, or I don't know if this is a proven fact somewhere. I've looked it up and tried to research it to see if it's true, but when people say you control your algorithm or you control what you see, I am going to argue that that is a very dangerous and incorrect belief. And I believe that it is incorrect because no matter what...
I may have loaded up a big boy here.
Software I use at this point, whether it's Apple Music or Spotify or TikTok or, if people are still like using Facebook regularly, whatever, all of those platforms, their whole purpose, their whole revenue generation depends on people paying for essentially SEO, search engine optimization, or like algorithm optimization, AO, to be put in my face. Now, I would argue as well that since 1 in every 3 TikToks I see is an ad, one is irrelevant to anything I'm interested in, that no matter how much I swipe, the algorithm, what's paid for, what's being promoted, what's being pushed, will always outweigh my ability to dislike it. My point is, I think the rhetoric that's being spread around of like, you control your algorithm, I believe that, conspiratorially, that is being pushed by people like TikTok and those companies to try to convince me that this is what I want to see. The same way radio used to push singles and play them and play them and play them to convince everyone that this is what's popular, this is what everyone is listening to, even though it might just be terrible music that we look back on and be like, how was this popular? I just...
What do you think about that? He goes on a little bit more. I think that's the gist of what he said. Hey, love your calls, dude.
So, what's the saying? Absolute power will corrupt absolutely or whatever.
Yeah.
And so
something like that.
I see your point, and yes, I imagine that there's no regulation over any of this. There is I think the statement that you control your algorithm is based on like a loose understanding of how the algorithm for TikTok works, which is it continues, like it'll show you stuff that you watched a long time or you searched for.
Right.
Or, you know what I'm saying?
That's what they mean.
And
by
that's what
that,
they mean.
But,
yeah. But I'm sure that now.
But I also understand what he's saying, that on the surface, I mean, just by
things
saying
are being
that,
promoted.
you need to be maybe a little more specific about that. You can't just say, oh, yeah, you control it. Well, maybe you control parts of it, or maybe introductorily you control it.
And yes, these are for-profit companies. This is not it's not nationally controlled or like some government program or whatever.
I mean, they're trying to get their hands in it, right? I mean, we're gonna adjust.
Well, the government is trying, but
are we
going to
address that again in 3 months? The TikTok ban?
I have no idea. But
I think it's coming back around.
Regardless, another social media will figure out the same. So I mean, Instagram is already doing it. Obviously, they're with Reels.
Is it as big as a hit though? I don't think it is.
It isn't, and TikTok does seem to have a more. It seems to present to me more variety and more of what I am entertained by, other than Reels.
But you spend more time on it.
Yeah. Although,
so I mean, it's time in, right? So it's like a garden. If you're curating your TikTok more than you are your Reels, then you go to always make the argument that your TikTok's going to be better because you spend more time. The more time you spend on it, the better it gets.
So, but no one should have any delusion that they're using paid sponsorships and injecting videos that someone paid for you to see into people's algorithms or demographics or whatever because some company paid them to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you're not only seeing, but I think everybody kind of just keeps, it means so little. Every video is such a throwaway nothing that I don't think anybody cares. So no one's like mad. You know, it's not like if you listen to a podcast and all of a sudden they interjected some long commercial in the middle of it and you were used to that.
We try not to do that, but yeah.
But we do it ourselves, but it's like if this was a bigger situation, you know, I could see them getting like, oh, another commercial. But with scrolling, it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. This is nothing. Like you're like, oh, is this a paid for thing? Oh, whatever. And it's like, it doesn't seem that people are that, I guess, insulted, or it doesn't seem that invasive for them to just randomly put a paid advertisement or a paid video.
To his point, my Facebook is like damn near unusable now because there's stuff that will pop up that's funny to me. Like, I'll give you a for instance. Let's say it's like Brevard County, buy here, pay here.
Yeah.
That's funny to me. But if I don't want to see like everything that's remotely connected to that, whether it be Brevard political, Brevard car, like you can't interact with it.
Yeah.
Because if you do, you've just destroyed your entire. Like, so my Facebook is just a bunch of random, because I interact with everything.
Yeah. Facebook seems to be
all over the place.
The social media platform that's behind the 8 ball when it comes to this, because I see weird ads and stuff that I'm not even interested in all the time.
Crazy stuff. Like Tony Rage sent me he got like straight porno on his yesterday. It was insanity.
So it's all just tools. And if you use TikTok as a tool for information or to have like cliff notes about what went on,
you could use it for your business. A
lot
of people do. That's
the
big argument that people are making for the ban, is that a lot of businesses use TikTok to, especially small business, to connect and get their products out and connect with their viewership and or clients.
I'll use TikTok to give an idea of what happened in an NFL football game.
Or like a news story.
I'll scroll 5 TikTok videos and I'll give highlights of an NFL game.
And you can like listen
cliff
to
notes.
it.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of different things.
Yeah,
but
it's
yes,
a valuable tool.
I think you're right, historian. They're definitely,
it's like a casino, right? Like it's always going to be stacked to the house.
Yeah.
Always stacked to the house.
This is for profit.
I mean, I think you did that to me. It's like now anything that I go into, I look at it. I'm kind of like, it's just do the casino test. Is this like a casino? If so, then they're in charge. They're going to win.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Boom. All right.
Perfect.
Good job, buddy. That's that for Monday 4.
Monday 4, yep.
And then it's lunchtime.
Yep.
And what do we have after lunch? We have.
Then we got Cadillac Patent Tuttle.